Hey, Mitch, could you explain what is Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 to someone that doesn't even know what they're talking about?
Well, first off, Dungeons and Dragons, it's a tabletop role-playing game. Um, Basically, what that means is you play it on a table and you roll dice and you role play a character.
So, Mitch, you said building a character. Like, what does that mean? Like, how would I build a character or create a character? What does that mean?
So the first step to making a character is you just kind of come up with an idea that you want. And from there, you look at the rules of the game and you find a way to incorporate that into making just a fantasy character. Like maybe you want to make a Rambo, or maybe you want to make Peter Pan or Robin Hood, just some random fictional characters, but make something creative of your own. You just make that and then kind of let the stats lead you where you're going to go.
Like, what do you mean stats? Like, there's actually stats involved in this?
Yeah, so basically when you start making a character, you're going to roll 3d6, which 3d6 are six-sided dice, so three of them, 3d6, so three, and then d6s, so six-sided dice. But anywho, basically you're gonna roll those, often 4d6 and drop the lowest, but you roll those a few times and then you get your strength stat, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and that's going to determine what kind of person you are. Like if you have high strength, you can lift heavy things and you can hit hard. If you have high charisma, people are going to like you and you're going to be more attractive. If you have a high dexterity, you're going to be nimble, quick on your feet. And constitution is going to take a lot to bring you down. Intelligence, you're going to be smart. Wisdom, you're going to make good choices. Wisdom and intelligence are actually the hardest to distinguish.
Do you create your own stats? Do you create the own charisma and strength? Do you create that?
So there's multiple different ways to do it. So one of the most common ways is, like I was saying, you roll 4d6 and you drop the lowest. You do that 6 times and then just kind of put which one in which stat. So if you got an 18, which is the best you can get, and you want to be strong, you can put that in strength. Or maybe you want to be a wizard and you need some intelligence, so you'll put that there. And then, maybe you got a bad stat in those 6, and, you're a barbarian, big, strong barbarian, maybe throw that 5 into intelligence or charisma because, you're a big, strong guy. You don't really need to be smart or likable. Or, maybe you want to be likable or smart. This is kind of up to you how you want to build it.
Mitch, how do I come up with a name for my character?
Well, that's actually one of the tougher ones. A lot of people struggle with coming up with names. When I first started, I literally just called my characters Mitch. I've come up with a little bit more creative names since then, but it's tough for me. But you can really just kind of pick whatever, especially if you're human. Just pick any old random human name. If you happen to be a different race, like a dwarf or an elf, there's names in the book that will work for that, and you can just kind of look through the list and figure out what you want to do based off of the list of names and the naming conventions of the different races.
What is one of the most creative names that you've ever come up with, or you've heard of other people come up with?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. That's such a specific question. One of the most creative ones I came up with, now that I think about it, is I had a half-orc barbarian that I made, and he was the big, strong, jerk kind of guy, or at least that's what he seemed like. He's actually a lot nicer than he seemed. Part of it was I named him Shut Up You. So anytime somebody asked him what his name was, he'd be, "Shut up you!" And they'd get like, okay, I guess you don't want to know a name, whatever, we'll drop it. But he was just telling them his name. He wasn't telling them to shut up.